Next, the second thing is like a DML. So when we have the structure, what happens? We want to add we want to insert the data, right? We want to insert the data. So here what happens? Okay, fname is there. Okay, no problem. So how to insert the data? We can use insert statement like this. Now we'll see about insert. So insert is used to insert the data in the table. How insert into what is table name? Student, right? Student and values of. So what I want here, I want to give like a, first of all here I want to give one and some name is like a Smith. We had to keep a single quote as it's a string value. One Smith. So here what happens? If you see here a student, this table contains two columns in the definition, right? What are the columns here? We have ID, we have fname. Internally it contains two columns, right? So what happens here? Whenever we run the statement, what happens? The first value will go and set for the first column name. The second value will go and set for the second column. So whatever columns we have here, that number of values we have to pass here. Okay. So this is the first one. If I want to insert second record, third record, fourth record, generally we have to write multiple inserts to insert multiple records. But the alternative is I want for second value, simply comma, put comma and two like we can use some nani. Enough. Next I want third record, 3 comma Satya, like this. So for fourth one, I don't know his father name. Then what happens now? When I run this one, what happens like this? 1 Smith, 2 Nani, 3 Satya, like this. I have a table like this now, okay? So what happens now? For fourth one, I don't know his father name. Then what happens here? You can see like this. Insert into student values of. So here I don't know his father name, right? So I can take 4 and like this. So if I run like this, what happens? It throws error. Why? Because I said that already. So in student, what are the columns here? General internal we have ID column and fname column, right? Yes. But here we are passing only one value. So it's the first value will come and set for the ID column. But here fname column is waiting for the value. But here we are not passing the value. So it throws error that the definition does not match the number of values that we are passing here. Okay. So what happens here? Whatever columns you are passing the values, we have to mention those columns list after the table name here. Like this. Students. So what is it? It's ID, right? We can keep ID. That's all. So what happens now? So in the definition, we are considering only one value. That's ID column. So the value will come and sit for the ID. So what happens now? 4 and here automatically comes null value. It comes a null value. So like that we can insert the data. Okay. Next we have like update. So here what happens? After some time I came to know his father name. After some time. So what happens now? I want to update this name as like some Channa. I want to make it a Channa. So what happens here? You can see here. Update. What is table name? Student, right? So I want set father name as Channa for ID 4. So update student. Set. What I want set? I want set father name Chinna for whom? For ID 4. So where ID equal to 4. So when I run this one, what happens here? Here you get Chinna like this. This is about update. Means update is used to modify the data. to modify the data, but alter is used to modify the structure. To modify the structure. Okay. Now we will see delete. So what is delete? Delete. So delete means here it removes the data. It removes the data. It may be single record or multiple records or all the records. Delete is used to remove the data like this. Delete from student. If I run like this, what happens? It removes whole data. But when you want to remove particular data, particular records, then we use here where clause. Where like id equal to 4. Now what happens? Only fourth record will be removed. Means by using delete, we can remove all the data, like delete from table name. If you want to remove particular records, we use here where clause. Now we will see here the difference between delete and truncate, which is mainly asked in the interviews. Delete and truncate with the examples. Okay, we will see difference between delete and truncate with some examples. Delete versus, let me take here, truncate. The first one is delete is from which one? DML command. It is a DDL command. We will see the differences with some examples. Okay, let me take a small table here. I will take a small table here. ID, name. I have 1, 2, A, B. Like this. I have a table. So now what happens? I use like a DDL, delete now. Delete from table name. I will take a tab. Delete from tab. What happens now? It removes all the data. After using delete, if I use a select statement to see what is remaining, I'll run the selector after deleting. Selector star from what is table name? Tab. So after using delete, if I use select statement, the output like this. Only I have column names. This is the output of the delete in this case. The same example, so we will see here by using truncator. ID here, name 1, 2, same A, B. Okay, so here what happens? Here we use delete, right? Here I use a truncate now. Truncate, you can see here. Truncate, table name is the same, like let me take tab, same table only. Okay, so after using truncate, let us see the remaining by using select statement. If you use select statement, you can see what is there, what is remaining. Select star from tab. So here also what happens? You can see the same output, ID and name for truncate. If you see here, for delete we have the ID name, for truncate also we have the ID name, but both the commands we have getting the same output. Then why should we use a truncate and why should we use a delete? When you have both the when you have the same output for both the commands, then what's the difference? Okay, so here I said that delete means it's a DML command, right? DML means what happens? It's a manipulation, means it works on data only. So it removes the whole data and it remains the one structure only. It's enough. Delete means what happens? It removes the data and it keeps the structure only. It's perfect. But here also what happens? Truncate also what is happening? It is doing like this. It is also removing and it's showing the same structure. We said that truncate is a DDL command. Means it must work on the definition. But what is happening here? It's removing data and it's giving output like this. That is what we think. But internally what happens? It removes the whole the table first of all. It removes the whole the table. Again, it recreates the structure. So we get this as the output now. So truncate means internally it removes the whole table. Means it works on the structure only. Again, it recreates the structure immediately. So this structure you are getting the output. Okay, so here what happens, truncate also working on the structure only. Okay, so in the interviews we ask the people that why truncate is a DDL command, even though it is working on the data, why it is a DDL command. So we have to say that truncate also works on the definition part. See, when it removes the definition, automatically data also will remove. Suppose if you cut our head, what happens, our body also will inactive. Here also what happens, again it creates structure, it creates a structure, we read that as a output. That's why it's a DDL command, it's a DML command. Okay, we'll see second example now. We'll see now second example. Here we use where clause, here there is no where clause. Here there is no where clause. Okay, so here why do we use where clause? By using delete command we can remove single record or multiple records or all the records. Okay, how? Like this, delete from tab where id equal to 2. So my table like this, id name 1 to some ab. So what happens now? It removes only id 2. It removes only id 2. The remaining like this, remain data like this, 1a only, 1a. Because by using delete you can delete a single record or multiple records also. The same case truncate, what happens? Truncate table name is like a tab. What happens? It removes whole the data, but here we can't use a where clause. We can't use where clause. That means we can't use a where clause in the truncate command along with the truncate command. Okay, this is the advantage in the delete. So by using delete we can remove single records or multiple records with the help of the where clause. In truncate we can't use the where clause. That's why we can't remove the single records or multiple records by using truncate command. Okay, we'll see one more example, one more definition. Difference. We say that it is a slow. When we use the delete, it works like a slow, but truncate means it works like a some fast. Why means for this one we'll see one concept before going to discuss why it is slow, why it is fast. We'll see one concept now. So when we create database, what happens? Internally it creates two files. Every database it creates two files. We can say those are called dot MDF file, and we can say one more thing, dot LDF file. MDF file and LDF file, master data file, log data file, master data file and log data file. So whatever we insert data in the database, automatically the data will store in the MDF file. Whatever we insert data, it stores in the MDF file. Okay, we will see MDF file here. I will take one MDF file. I will take one MDF file now. So this MDF file contains multiple extents. You can see it. We can say it is a one extent, another extent. Like that, we have multiple extents. Each extent contains 8 data pages. Each extent contains 8 data pages. Like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, like this, we have multiple extents. Each extent contains multiple data pages. The capacity of each page is 8 KB. Okay, so here what happens? It stores the 8 KB data. After filling this one, next it stores the next 8 KB data, like that. Okay, now we'll see here. Whatever we insert the data, first it stores in the first page. After filling the first page, it comes to second page, third page, fourth page, up to 8 page. If it fills the 8 pages, it goes to the next extent. Same again, first page, second page, like this. So it works on the page by page. Okay, so what now we'll see here. I inserted the data that first page has taken 10 records, 1, 2 and so on, 10 records. First page. Second page also 10 records, means 11 to 20. Third page 21 to 30 and so on. Last one is 71 to 80, for example. Okay, now I have the data. Now what happens? I will use now delete command. I will use now here delete command. delete from tab. Imagine it's a tab name. So what happens now? It's MDF file, right? We have a LDF file also. So it is LDF file. So what happens? Whenever we use the delete from table name, what happens? First, it removes the first record. It removes the first record and it stores the log data of first record in the LDF file. It removes the record, stores in the log file. Again, second record stores in the log file. Again, it removes the third record and stores the log data in the log file. Again, it removes the fourth record, it stores the log data in the file. Next, fifth record, it stores the log data in the log file. So that to finish our first page in our example, it does the operation 10 times because the first page has 10 pages. Okay. Next, after finishing the first page, it goes to the second page. It again takes the first record in the second page, it stores the log data. So like that, to finish the first extent, it does the operation 80 times. 80 times because the delete is doing the operation row by row. Row by row. Okay, it does the operation row by row, and so to finish one extent, it does the operation how many times? 80 times. How many times? 80 times. For example, here 80 times. Okay, the same case I use now truncate. Truncate table name is tab. So what happens whenever we use a truncate? It doesn't do the operation row by row. Simply, it deallocates the entire page at a time. It removes the entire page at a time. So in the first attempt, we have 8 pages. It means it does the operation 8 times only. How many times? 8 times. It's 80 times. It's 8 times. Which is very faster here? This is the fast one. This is the slow one. It's the slow one. That's why delete does the operation very slow compared to truncate. That's why it's called slow. It's a fast. Okay. So we'll see one more example. So for in the delete case, what is happening? It is taking the log data, right? Storing the log data. In truncate, doesn't take the log data. So we can say that it's a logged operation. Logged operation. Delete is a logged operation because it is taking the log information. It is not a logged operation. Okay, remove it. So next one. So what happens here? For every record, we have the log data in the LDF file. In which case? In the delete case. Just imagine if in our computer, if you remove any file, what happens? It goes to the recycle bin. So if you want to get back that one, if you want to roll back the file, what happens? We go to recycle bin and we use the restore option. Here also what happens? When you delete the operation data, it comes and stores in the LDF file like a recycle bin. So now what happens? We get back, right? We can get back by using, because here we have the log data. That's why in the delete case, it supports the rollback option. Example like this. We use a delete button in the computer. Okay. In the same case here, what happens? In case of truncate, it doesn't store the log data, right? So here there is no rollback concept. No rollback. It's like a shift plus delete. So what happens? If you see an image file, if you shift delete, what happens? It goes permanently from the table, from the computer. Doesn't store in the recycle bin. That's why we can't roll back it. Same also. Truncate works like a shift delete. And delete works like a delete button on the keyboard. Okay. This is one more example. So we'll see one more last example, the difference. So if you see here, in SQL Server, we have a property called identity. What is the name? Identity property. Let us take 1, 1. Means starts with 1, increment by 1. Okay. Identity means what happens? It generates the automatic sequential number. Integer number. Okay. For example, I will have a table called ID, name, suppose location here. So for ID column, I am using identity property. What does it do? It generates the automatic increment number. Generally we use identity property for key values, like for ID values. So what happens here? While inserting data, I'll insert here only some Smith here Hyderabad. Here one will come here. Next some Sai here Bangalore. Here 2 will come. We don't enter these values. We don't enter these values. Those will come automatically because we set id property for id column. I'm taking here one more thing like Satya, I'll use here Chennai. 3 will come. That's one more name. Ram, same Hyderabad. What happens here? 4 will come. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Now what happens? Now I use the delete. Here only I will write. Here only I will write here for delete. Here for truncate. Okay, I will see the example here only. This is the 6th example now. So what happens? Now it's a table name called tab, for example. So I use like this. Delete from tab. Delete from tab. What happens? It removes all the data. So after delete, if I use like a select statement, select star from tab. What is the output here? We get like this only. We get a ID, name and the location. Okay. So now what happens? I insert a new value. I insert a new value like this. Insert into table name tab values of. I'll take a now Chinna and I'll take here Hyderabad. Okay, what happens now? So can you see here? So here we have ID, we have name, we have location, right? Yes. So what happens? I am giving Chinna and here I am giving Hyderabad. Now what is the value here? Does it take 5 or does it start from 1? Does it continue with 5 or starts with 1? What happens? It continues with the value 5. Okay, here it takes the 5 in case of digital. In the same case, what happens? The truncate. In the same case, in the truncate case, I am using like same table only. I am using like truncate table name is a tab. After truncating, if I use select statement, what is my output here? Like this. ID, name, location. After this, again, if I run this statement, the same statement, what happens? My output like this. I am using like a, what is it here? Chenna. And here, Hyderabad. Now here, what is the value? In case of delete, what happens? It continues the value. But here, in case of truncate, what happens? It starts with again 1. It resets the value with 1 again. Again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. But here 5, 6, 7 like that. In case of delete, it continues the identity value. In case of truncate, it resets the value. Because here we used 1 comma 1, right? So start value 1. Start value 1. So it 1. Again, if we insert one more record, what happens now? It takes 2. Again one more record, it takes 3. Like that. So these are the some of examples difference between delete and truncate. DML, right? Next one we have DRL. So here we have only one thing called select. So example, just now we have seen a lot of examples on the selector. You can see here selector star from tab. The tab which is having ID and name, location 1, 2, 3, some A, B, C, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Pune, like this. So here its name is a select star from tab means so here I am retrieving all columns from tab, this table. Select means retrieving, star means all columns, star means all columns means ID, name, location. From which table? From tab. I want to retrieve only name only, then we use here particular column name. I want to retrieve name and location, name comma location, like that. Okay, this is the example for select statement. Next we have like a DCL, data control language, which is having grant and revoke. So here grant means like giving permissions. How to give permissions like this? Grant. So for example, I am the employee and I ask my DBA, please give me permission on select statement. So what happens? He gives me permission on select statement. Grant select on this table, on tab. To whom? To me, like a username. I use here, for example, Narayana. To Narayana. Grant select and tab to Narayana. I want to select an update. You can use update. We can use comma. Okay. Imagine we have like a select only. After my work, I say that yes, my work is over. Then what does it do? He take back the permission. How to take back? By using revoke, select on tab from Narayana. So we use here from Narayana. Okay, so grant and revoke. Grant means like giving permissions on particular table to particular user. Revoke means revoke the particular permissions on particular table from particular user. Grant and revoke. And the final one is the TCL, transaction control language. So here we have like a commit, rollback and save point. So we will see a small example, like a rough example. Begin transaction. Here I use some DML operations: delete, update, insert, like this. A transaction nothing but a set of SQL statements. So begin transaction, and I have written some examples, like some delete example, update example, and insert example. So what happens now? I run the whole thing at a time. What happens now? On this table only. What happens? So these will change. The changes will affect the table temporarily. First of all, okay. The changes will affect the database temporarily. Now we have a chance to make them permanent or to restore the changes. I want to make them permanent. Then you can use here commit. If you use commit, what happens? All changes make as a permanent changes. Okay. No, I want to get back those. I don't want commit. I want to get back. I want to restore the changes. Then we use a rollback. Rollback means what happens? All three changes will restore. No, I want to restore like a particular statement only. Then we use a save point. Save point means to restore particular statements. So these are the commit, rollback, save point. Once if you commit the transaction, we can't roll back. Even though once if you roll back, we can't commit. We can commit later. Okay. So these are the TCL commands: commit, rollback, and save point. Okay. Thank you.